Welcome to the Hampshire 1900 start for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we're picking up on the 14th of April 1931, which is a few months on from the end of the last part, because I wanted to play out the rest of the slightly disastrous winter that we had in Milford-on-Sea here, due to the fact that this heating plant was not really up to the job. You can see now that the temperature is only 14 degrees Celsius. It is picking up a little bit, but then the demand for heat is quite low. So probably a top tip, if you're playing on an Arctic map, don't bother with this. And just to give you a bit of a recap of what actually happened is, if I go back here and we push back several months, you can see that a lot of the population that came into here actually kind of left. So the area here is fairly underpopulated at the moment. We mainly lost the workers from these buildings here, so we got a few workers in here, and if you watch that previous part, you'd be aware that we were working on here, and you can see now that we've actually got the storage operational. What I will do now is see if we can get some workers into here. Yeah, citizens' happiness is too low. I'm not exactly sure why you're too low, because there's nobody here. Probably because they've all left. What I do need to do is probably allow citizens into here. In fact, I think what I will do is we're going to have to get about 50 workers into here. There's one thing I would like to do, if possible, in this part, is actually start to bring in some hotel staff as well, so we can start our tourist things going. But I think to do that, we're going to need some buses, because of course we're going to need to bus our tourists in from here. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, is what you find is we will have some tourists here. So what I'm going to do, I've built this platform here. We're going to need to deliver fuel to there, but it might be a problem here. Oh, you have got power, that's good. And what we're going to do is, what can we get in the way of buses? Bus technical capacity. Alright, so it looks like this YAR 6 is about the best we're going to get. So we get 1, 2, 3 of those to start with. And the trouble is, we've got a few workers here. Can you get to there? Actually, I do need to check one thing. I may need to push the priority on that a bit. So I realised I needed a bus platform to drop off our things. We've got meat, alcohol and food in here. Now, one thing I do want to check is the economics of this, because at the moment, if I go to imports, you can see we are importing some food and alcohol. And what we've got to do is make sure that our income from our hotel is greater than the cost of importing the food and alcohol. So that's something we are going to need. The beach is ready to go, but it's got no power supply, but it's still closed due to bad weather. So so I've put in a power supply there. I don't think I've got off to a particularly good start with this down here. Then we got a few workers in here, but we're going to have to kind of try and build this workforce up a bit. We've now probably got that's the wood cutting post. The heating plant, yeah, you can see this is building up. So this is going to make life a little bit more habitable for our workforce here. Stop production. Yeah. So we're going to need to try and get some workforce in. Actually, where's the school? Athletics club, opera house. Right, we've got a private school here. I think, do I really want to spend some money on... I think what we will do So I'm just going to bring some. I'm going to bring in some more immigrant workers into there. I'm going to try and open this up for a few staff, and then we're going to bring in some not educated. Don't want experts, I just want ordinary ones. We're going to get kind of fill that up a bit there. And while this is all settling down, we'll just go up and just give you an update about what's going on around Eastleigh. The other thing that we're probably going to do is advertise in Soviet countries so that we can promote tourism. But I won't do that until we've actually got tourism functioning in this area. Generally, Eastleigh is kind of just doing its own thing, and all they're really doing at the moment is doing maintenance and building the roads. What I'm trying to do is start pushing out this road this way, so that we can kind of keep developing this area. I have put in this office here because I realized during the winter that we were getting a bit of a problem here with snow coverage. The snow was slowing down the delivery of this. Okay, we got another little truck here. Yeah, Milford-on-Sea is that. Yeah, we're going to have a problem with happiness. It's going to take a little while for things to build up. We'll have to keep an eye on that. We've got truck vehicles here. I just want to see what we got here. I'm not sure that's putting it in there would give me a great benefit. I think what we will do is get rid of one of you and put you in there, and then put this Mac AC into there. As you can see, it's going to take a little while to get everything up and running. Over here, we are still working through some stuff. I'm trying to get this done. And if you watch the previous part, is the courthouse, just to give you an update. This courthouse is now functional, and it's kind of got everything back under control again. So we've probably got too many people in here, but there's not much I can do about it in the moment. I keep coming back to here with respect to actually kind of wanting to put a farm in here, but I do need to clean up these roads a bit first, and of course we need to get rid of all this and consume that fuel. I know I'm skating on very thin ice with respect to this farm, but there's not much point kind of finishing it off and getting it operational, because there's no way we can move the crops very well at the moment. So at the moment, this area is about kind of trying to pull together the various bits and pieces. I would like, if possible, let me just check, this is coming here. I would like, if we need that fixed. Have you picked that little bit road up here? Yes, you have. It's probably needs a workforce to help finish it because it's not very big. Get you on it. I want this finished. Because what I would like, if possible, is to get a workforce out to here. I've put a bus stop here, which I want to use for a workforce. Want that built as well, because nobody can get in here because this is a one-way bus stop. I would like that finished so that we could get a food supply out here, and when we can start building up our workforce in this area. But of course our priority has to be Milford-on-Sea at the moment. Now, another potential problem that we've got is that I need this heating plant built. So that's high priority. That's high priority. Okay, we've now got a workforce in here. We've got our buses, so here we go. You're going to pick up tourists from here. We could drop them directly at the hotel, but that would be a short distance. But I'd rather have the route. No, I think to begin with, we're go straight to the hotel. So we're not going to get that many. Well, we shouldn't get that many. And we're go like that and that. How many? We've got 11 tourists there. So we're going to get there. We've got no real attractions at the moment, but that's okay. Plus the birth rate, and yeah, we got a few escapees and a few bits and pieces. So sewage tanks overflowing. What's going on now? It says building without power supply. Oh great. That's gonna be a problem, because I don't think I've got a... We've got a small power takeoff there. So what I can do is put you there. Go underground. Oh, I must be... The reason I'm doing it this way is that I want to build that out that way. High priority. High priority. Yeah, we've got sewage tanks overflowing now. I didn't plan this very well, did I? Right, so we should now have beginning. So you can see we're now getting, this is our income for tourism. You can see it's not going to be excessive at the moment. And we are going to have a problem with workforce. Okay. We're just going to have to kind of grin and bear it at the moment. I was building this, but I think that's suspended. I think I will suspend this, because that's only supplying power to that. We're going to need more workforce into here. We just bring in some more. Oops, don't want experts. So we've got a bit of a balancing problem now, in the sense we've got a health risk, but the same, right, we've now got these guys here. This is already filling up because it's an attraction. Have you got a... Okay, so what we're going to need to do is get some garbage collection in here. Oops, a daisy. I think if I put you about there and come that way, and then put you... Okay. Oh, there's other infrastructure in the way. That 111, that might just be a little bit too far. Let me just move you over a smidge. It's going to be in a bit of an awkward position, but if I put you about there. What are you delivering? Okay, you're picking up the mixed waste. Okay, that's good. We're gonna have to kind of probably push you out to the full workforce, and then we'll just have to bring in the workforce to get this going. It says some guests without service. Yes. How are we doing now economically? Yeah, we're losing a fortune because we're bringing in workforce, but there's not much I can do about this. to get a maybe. How are we doing here? Okay, we filled this. We're filling this up. That's good. We can get that built. Right, we've got no visitors to there, but we are getting a few visitors to here. Right, while this is going forward, what I want to do now is move up to something I was thinking about off camera, and that is that I would like to make Milford-on-Sea a little bit more self-sufficient with respect to, how can you put it, food and alcohol. So what I'm going to do, and I want it to be a bit more on an industrial scale than we've done before. So what I'm going to do is we're going to plan a first things first is we need to build out a second track out here like that. Just make sure it's all connected. Like that. And then what we're going to do is put a bridge over here. Drop you down there, best you can. You can hook to there. You can hook to there. And what we're going to do is just have a look at the flat terrain here. The terrain might have to do a little bit of leveling here, but what I'm thinking is let's have a look at the kind of way the fields shape up. Yeah, we're gonna have to do some leveling here because you can see how it's clipping. We could put a field there, but it still might clip. So what we'll do is we'll build a road out here. Oops. Do a bit of leveling because what I'm thinking is I can put a food production out here with some alcohol production with a direct connection to a silo where we will actually have, and then we can put a farm out here. There's plenty of space and we're not going to use it for anything else. And then what that will mean is that we can then, so we need to build this road out. Just make sure that this has got connection there. Yep. Okay, happiness is too low. Yeah, everyone's unhappy because they're probably, because they've got a health risk. I really do need this built out here. Come on, how are you doing? This is the type of thing that where, what we call it, this is the type of thing where playing realistic mode can be a little bit frustrating. So I'm going to come this way. How are we doing? Oh, this is filled up, so right, we're just going to let everyone flow into here for the moment because there's one other thing I want to do. I think I've already checked it with here. So the only research we got in here is we are in the 1930s, and probably one of the quicker ways to do a tech check is just to click on the universities. So we've got, yeah, we've got no tech university, and of course we've got a health one here, decreased birth rate. Yeah, we don't want to decrease the birth rate. Aha. Say over here, oh, what's that? Oh yeah, I'm deconstructing the platform here because I think it's going to be a bit of a waste of time. Actually, what I should do also is see what on earth what are you up to? Well, he's decided that he wants to lay this track into here, which is okay. I do, yeah, we need this laid back into here, so we got that connected. What I do want to do now is start, because we're on 1931, if we come to the tech tree, and we've got here, if we come down to, where is it? Here. We've got this in 1941 is going to be the concrete one. So, I'm kind of having to start think about what I want to electrify, which is wooden track, and which track I want to replace. But while we're here, let's have a look at there. We've got television in 1935. Don't really feel the need for that at the moment. Anyway, let's just come down and see. 1932 semiconductors would be quite nice, because if we can start research, so if we can come out this way, that opens up an opportunity where we might be able to start producing around here. We've got 1934, we've got modern pylons. That would be very, very useful as well in 1934, because that means we can start upgrading our power supply. The uranium mining, well, we're not worrying about that. 1937, again, 1934 would be quite nice as well. To start getting the waste processing, pushing this out, because if we can get this done, and then we'd have waste separation, and what that will do is it will unlock this here, general separation. That will mean that we can then kind of come up to here with our kind of incinerators, put some waste separation out of here, and what that will mean is that we'll then be moving towards only having ash in this area, which means that we will reduce, not that I think that our actual imports, yeah, I mean, so far this year, how much we're not really, it's quite strange actually. I was expecting, seeing this is for a whole economy. I'm not. Okay, let me just see exports. Well, we're exporting construction waste, mixed waste. We're actually making a profit on. Now that is a turnout for the book. I think probably the key factor here is the fact that we are burning the hazardous waste here. One thing I do want to do is, actually I think what we can do, it's a long way round though, but I think what we might be able to do is actually change this and remove you, and what that will mean is that we'll be taking, instead of paying for the waste to be disposed of, we can do that, do the same for this side. Let's see, where's my waste burning pit? We actually see, when does this get unlocked? Waste treatment plant requires modern industry. Painful, very, very painful. All related vehicles. Okay, we're going to change you as well. Unload. Not fertilizer, mixed waste. Remove you. Just want to go back and double check over here. I definitely did click on yep. Not that I don't trust, but it's the type of small mistake which can be very expensive if you are not careful in this game. Actually, we haven't checked the prison. The prison's okay. I think now we've dealt with the surge. Right, we've now got a food supply out here, but we've got no power supply. And we are... Right. You've got a power supply, so we've got a bit of a dead zone here, but we do have power to here now. So if I... Yeah, okay. Right. I think what we will do is put in... We'll put a substation smack bang in... I think again... Wait. It's going to overlap a little bit there, but remember our substations at the moment are a little bit under... Actually, I think I could probably push you out. Actually, no, it's a water station. I think if we put the... It'd be great if I could get power into that, actually, come to think of it. Let me just check something. Just check the... Yeah, we've got power all the way to here. But the substation may be a little bit overloaded if I can find it. Where is it? Yeah, you're 131%. So if I can put in... Say I put a substation in just here. Like that. Actually, we can just remove you. And go you into there. That would reduce the number of connections on the main highway. Game we're gonna go 1.85 megawatts. Again, this is going to be need a full load, so right, it looks like we've now got our concrete construction guy here. You can come there. Okay, what we're going to do is just bring in... The only thing we're going to put into here is concrete mixers. Whoops. Total capacity. So we've still got... That's 6. That's 21. That's 22. This is 6. This is 4.5. I think we're still going to go with these. So we go 1, 2, 3. Start with about 4, 5 of those. What's it? This is... I can't remember if it's 40-30 or 30-40. Let me just check. It's 30-40. Yeah, I should remember that really. 30. Not the. Oops. 30-40. Yep. And you guys are going to go that way. Let me just check. Here's my. Okay, just make sure you guys are onto this. We don't need to prioritize it. We'll just let that run. Yeah, ground crew construction. We will need to. We can now start to use these guys as well. I think we can start using that. Let's make sure that these. Oops. Let's just make sure these are connected up. Okay. Aha. And I think what we will do is just use these to speed up the process there. This is built, so we will need to start. Oops, this is not connected. We'll get the road crew on that. Should do. Make sure these guys are kind of sat around doing nothing at the moment. I'm going to have to think about where we want to go. We're still working on that. Actually, you can also work on that as well, and that. But I'll let you pick them up yourself. We need to make this connection so we can get out to here. What's up with you? What are you guys? Derby road crew. I'm just gonna. Yeah, these guys have picked up everything over here. It's probably down to workforce. Yeah. Let me just see if we can give these guys a little bit of a nudge, because I would certainly like this to go out that way. Anyway, back to Milford on Sea. Do we have power in here yet? So we've now got power in here. So we've now kind of should have now fixed our waste problem. People should be getting a little bit happier. Garbage content. Why can't you? You've got food here. I've got a feeling that we're not yet. Well, I mean, we're getting the workforce in here. Okay. I think we need more workforce. Got connection there. We got the money. Let me just. Can you get that way? Yeah, you can get to the hotel. And plus you're... what we're going to do is invite some immigrants from the third world. And we're also going to get some more workers into... You've got workers into there. We're bringing workers to there. I think we're... bring in some more immigrants from the Soviet bloc. I don't really like doing this, but okay. So how much money now comes the crunch time? We're actually getting. We've got accommodation for 53. Tourist economy. So we're earning what did we earn last month? So we're earning about 6,000 a month from tourism, and if we do an import, see, this is the problem. Last month we all imported 15 tons of food, no alcohol. So I would say at the moment, our income, it's a bit less now. So we do need to offset some of these costs. Otherwise, this is going to be fairly marginal. The other thing we can look at, I mean, they're probably going to give us a very poor rating if we come to tourism. Well, trip per... No, we've got none died. We've got tourists intended to enter the Republic. Okay, let me just see. Wow. Well, we got an argument that we can build another hotel. And my instinct is... Right, let's have a look at the hotels. We got this one here. How many? We got 30 people in it. Let's have a look at. Put you about there. The main concern is you've got no sewage capability. I wonder if we could. Let me just get back to. Whoops. Hotels. Which one? These have got road. Yeah, they're all going to need a road connection. This is a bit of a dead zone with respect to hotels, but And we got no sewage outfall here. We could put a small hotel. We could put a hotel in here. It'll have all the facilities. This one says it will take 100. Actually, if we do this, we could create the... Let me just zoom in. So this has got a bit of a veranda around the front of it. We could put a hotel about there. We leave a little bit of a footpath there. That's the Singer Hotel. I think we're going to put this in. Actually, if we put one there, we're probably not going to build both of them, but we do two like that. Now, the reason I've put these in like this is simply that this will create the terraced effect, which is very common in Victorian seaside resorts in the UK. Because what happened, these were kind of three-story townhouses and things like that. So that would create the kind of right beach effect. And if necessary, we could, because this is only a cable, we could create something here as well. We just need to get electronics here. They might have a... I think the problem is they're kind of out of range of that, aren't they? I think what we're going to need here is some kind of cafe, beach cafe or something like that. Can we do that? What we got here? We've got a cafe here. I mean, it will count as a... let me just see. Got a pub. Where is our pub? Are they in range of the local pub? Where is the pub? The pub's up here. So yeah, I think we need some kind of little cafe down here to make them a little bit even more happier. Got a beach bar which we can't build. We could put in a pub on this corner. Trouble is, it's all adding to our costs. But we could put a pub there. Let me just see. These are all restaurants. Because this has got no sanitation attached to it. Okay, we're going to have to think about the water and the sanitation over here before we commit to a restaurant. I think we will go with a... Oh, that's got quite a high kind of thingy bob on it. So if we put the Rothberg Eau de Tubo market there, it says it's got a 4.5-star rating. So we shove you there. Yeah, we got a connection to there, but I think if we're going to expand out this way, we're going to have to put some sanitation out here. In fact, we could turn it to our advantage. So, right. We know we got sanitation there. So if I put a sewage tank out here, because we could develop this as a kind of tourist attraction there. That will also mean that we will supply water and sanitation to the beach as well. So if I put the water substation here, actually we'll put the water substation at the top of it. Flip you that way, like that. Put you like that. Okay, we've got new buildings. We'll take a quick look at that. I'm aware that I'm probably pushing up against time now. We've got that connection there. Some infrastructure in the way. Don't really. But then again, this is only 75 cubic meters, isn't it? So we've got to remember that the brick sewages systems, or whatever you want to call them, are got lower capacity. Right, we've got a water supply that we can take off of here, which we can run down to there. You can go under there. Make sure. Is that connected? That's better. Ah, always got to be very, very suspicious. So what we'll do is we'll lay in the water infrastructure under here. Get this built, build this up. We will get back to building that. Do we have any unemployment in this area? I doubt it very much. This is a caterpillar. Not sure what that is. It looks a bit like a grader. Just want to see if we've got any unemployment in this area. No. Okay, so we're still going to need to keep pushing people in here. We've only got 50 people unemployed in our whole economy. Yeah, electronics, they're complaining like that because they're typical tourists. They want that there. We might be able to fix that long term because we will expand out this way, but we're going to have to be a little bit careful. We have got the potential for gravel production here, but I'm not really that interested. Anyway, I think we've kind of got everything, yeah, wood storage full. Yep, that's good. That gives us protection for the heating going forward. Right. I think we can just let these guys do their own thing for the moment. It's definitely got to stop using foreign manpower. That's the next thing we need to do. We need to be able to get the foreign manpower, our own manpower out here. But that will, I think what we will do is allow workers into there. We've got workers into there. We've got workers flowing into there. Just have a let some workers into there. Trouble is, will they get to this bus stop? No. Okay. I think this is going to be our tourist drop-off. Let me just rename this. Milford on call it tourist drop. You can drop off the tourists there. And I think what we will do is continue construction there. And because the fact that we're going to have to go out this way to build a farm and other stuff, what we will do is put another bus platform here. Yeah, I think if we flip that way, yeah, we'll just drop you in there like that. Can't build due to infrastructure. What's the infrastructure then? Actually, we could to put you there. That would be even better. Can't build due to infrastructure. Can't build due to... What's underneath here then? Oh, that changed. I think if we can get you there. Put you out to there. You can reach there. And you can sneak through there. And then we can build through here with kind of other additional workforce. And then we can use that as our construction workforce. Although to begin with, we're probably, once we've got surplus workers, if we can get them into here, we can do something. Okay, right, let's just have a little bit of a look through and see what we've got here. We've got a new train, an aircraft, got a gazette truck, another new train. Okay, we just, sometimes it's easier just to look at what we've got here. What I'm looking for is what we got here. A Ruston Bicon RB. It's still not the fastest here. We got the Gaganu C40, which is, if we turn off the workshop, let's see what we've got. So all we got here is a track builder and a bus. Let me just see, bring this back in. We've got no roller, no paver or anything like that at the moment. Because the first roller is going to come from the west, and I can't remember what it's called, but it should be around fairly soon. So we've actually got a Western track builder here and a Western excavator, which is quite interesting as part of the DLC. What have we got here? We've got some tourists here, but can't help that. No roller, no road crane. Search by production 1931. So we've got ourselves a reasonably sized wagon for moving thing. We got a steam train, 115 kilometers an hour. This is a DLC one. This is a gas 75. We got a couple of good. See, I think this is another thing that's starting to crop up now. Is the fact that there's some duplication, because you can see here we've got the IS series 1931 to 1972. That one's coal driven, that's diesel driven. So if we buy this, we're gonna have to use this. Gas, an FD series, that's diesel. We got that's a very slow hauler. We've got a T26 tank, and we've got a something here which I can't even pronounce because it's in Cyrillic, which is still slower than the Burrell. We've got the FD series, which became available in 1931. We've got a diesel train. Yes, we got a reasonable selection of bits and pieces coming through. How are we doing for crops and stuff? Still got quite a considerable. We're on the 1st of September. We got a nice load of crops in here. It's a bit concerning. Right, we've got a little bit of a problem here. It says vehicles without fuel. The reason for that is that this is under construction. You come at a very bad time. High priority. Go on, fix it, please. Okay, that should. Yep, you can see as soon as this is one of the little stings in the tail that the game will dish out to you. That these buildings that need to be reconstructed, especially the ones where, for example, if we come into here, you'll see it says wear and tear on machines. When these come up for repair for machinery, this factory doesn't work. And this is where trying to min-max in this game can be a very dangerous thing to do. Because if you try and min-max something, what will happen is that you will get hit by that, especially once you've got a heavily industrialized system. Say like you've got a major clothes factory, like the fact that we are kind of planned down here. There will be periods of time when they will shut down. If you haven't got a contingency, then you're going to have a little bit of a problem. Okay. Oh, great. Wait. Right. Just about to upset all these guys. Relocate citizens. I know you're going to be very, very unhappy, but let me just see. Kind of, can we get? Yep. Oh, I also put this little carousel in as well. Right. Do we have power out here yet? No, so there's no point. Right. These we won't allow anyone to move into just yet. We're going to build them, or let them be built, but we're not going to allow anyone to move in. Secret police. Our police station's got everything completely under control. Okay. I think I would like that built. Okay, yeah. Okay, we got a bit of a, but I think getting that built now will make a difference. We've got quite a lot of maintenance to do, which is, I think the problem is that we've got quite a large area now with this town. I mean, these guys, they don't seem to be picking up the maintenance down here. Wow. Why aren't you? I think you should be in range. Or aren't you? Yeah, you should be in range. I think what we're going to do is we're going to try something. 29, 39. Let me just see. Right, let's have a look at the. It says reconstruction and maintenance, but you just so backlogged up that you're not actually doing anything. Do you pick up them? See, this guy is, but this one isn't, which is a little bit disappointing, because this is going to grow and then this is going to expand out into this way. What I'm going to do, we need access to that construction office. Let me just see. We're going to build a bus platform there. What I'm going to do is here. This will, don't really want to impinge on that. We may have to put in, right, we're going to put construction office there. Put you there. Rename you Maidstone main bed. Finance. Construction office. So what we're going to do is build this, and what this will become is our maintenance construction office. And what we'll do is once it gets built, we'll set it to maintenance only, and then hopefully that will solve this problem, because this one it definitely says reconstruction. Let me just see, this one's picked it up. I just don't understand why this guy's not picking up. Am I missing something quite obvious? It says auto search. I think these are just going to have to be, are these exclusively, yep. Yeah, we're going to make these virtually exclusively maintenance at the moment, except for the odd job that I will allocate manually. Got another caterpillar. Okay, citizens' happiness is too low. Yep. What is affecting you? It's just, it's going to take a little while for that happiness to build back up again. I can imagine what let's have a quick look of the overall happiness. Yeah, I mean, it's probably some of them are complaining because I forcibly moved them as well, which probably didn't help matters very much. But 80% happiness here. The tourism is now settling down. We've got an issue with electronics, but to be honest, from the point of view of our thing, actually, let me just see. Yeah. Wait, if you want to go there, if we let tourists in, what should happen is tourists will come in here to wait for things. Yep. And then what they can do, because they go here, they hang around here a little bit, they can then walk up to the store and buy some electronics. So that should solve that problem. And we will need to keep, I think it's time to clear that, the messages away as well. Got this here. We'll set this to separate biological waste. That should clean up this here. Some guests were out of service yet. We will keep trying to kind of keep building things in. We do need to get power here. This is closed for bad weather. Our gallery of art there, we can build that. If I broke that, we've got a bit of waste space here, but I'm not too worried about that. Of course, another project we're going to need to work on is the docks down here, but that's low priority. Let me just check the loyalty. The loyalty is pretty good. Health is up good. We've got our heating plant is running good. If we check the overlay for heating, yep, everyone's nice and should be nice and warm with the upcoming thing. Actually, that reminds me, let's have a look. What's the heating coverage here? Yeah. We might have a heating problem going out this way. Let me just see. We may, if we're going to expand this way and have a, because we're going to need a fairly big town out here. Now that's the thought. We may need another heating plant here. I mean, I can put a temporary extension in here. Yeah, I think we can, maybe that's something we do need to. So it looks like I'm gonna have to drop a heat exchanger in about there. Let's hook you up there. Go underground. Of course, you always have heat exchanger pipelines. And you can kind of got a heat exchanger there. What that will do is give us a kind of a more temporary extension out this way. If we really build up this area, which is what we're going to need to do to provide the workforce to the mine over here, what we're most likely going to have to do is come the opposite way. Now we're probably going to have buildings up to about there. So if we measure 800 there, that's 200. Let me just look. Say, for example, what have we got in the way of large heating plants? The 210 won't be available for modern industry. Okay, I have a plan. A kind of a plan, actually. Because I'd like to put a heating plant here. But I think what I might do is we'll expand out with this. We will keep an option for this heating plant is 100 gigajoules for heating this area. But if we can stretch it out until this one becomes available, which is modern industry, which is, I think, is it 1955? Is it? I can't remember now. 1958. Wow. Because what I'd like to do is possibly have a heating plant here. We could be creative with footpaths to get our workforce here. And then what we could do then is run a coal-fired heating plant back into here. And then we could modernize the heating system through here. Okay, oh, we got a new vehicle. That looks like a combine harvester. Now, I am interested in that. What have we got here? Harvester. Top speed 13, 16. It's still... We got the... Oh, we got this thing, haven't we? The moment we're using this is 16. This is slower, but this harvest speed is faster by 4. Did I change the automatic replacement? Yeah, okay. We're just going to leave that on automatic replacement at the moment because we are making money. Anyway, I'm aware that I'm running out of time, so what we're going to do is just check our economy. We are now making 7,000 rubles. How much did we make last month? 12,000, 7,000. So we're up to this month already. We're up to 8,000, and we're only on the 18th. So it looks like we are pulling in about 12,000 rubles a month from tourism. And if you look at our imports, yeah, I think we're making a marginal profit on our tourism. I don't think we're going to need to advertise just yet. So I think the tourism is kind of a way that you can make money with an early start DLC, but it's marginal until such time as you are producing your own food. So we're probably going to need to come out here and work on a farm out here with food production and everything else like that, which probably means that we're going to have to put in some form of cableway over here, which is going to take the out to the workforce. But that will be a project for a future part. Just have a quick look in here. Yeah, we are getting a regular supply of tourists. Obviously we're probably going to get, yeah, we got loads here. Of course we got a queue at the border. Something else we're going to have to do. But I'm fairly happy with the way this is actually gone. Let's get rid of that horrible green. And more importantly, if we come into here, this is now fully heated. So we got no complaints about heating. Kind of, let me just see. I know I'm getting distracted again. Apologies. Right, we got some free flats down here, which we can start letting people into. Because this is our potential workforce. So we'll let people come into here because we can start allowing workers into here. Do we have any unemployment? No, not yet. We've got unemployment up here, but they can't get down to. Right, this needs to be high priority. So is that, because that is still too far away. I think what I will do as a test, start letting workers into here as well, because what I could do then is number of workers waiting. What we will do is one of you onto this here. Yeah, I think we can do that. So we're on there. So we don't want too many people to move into there. What we do need to do is get our workforce into here, which means we need to build up this. So we'll kind of concentrate our workforce in this area for the moment. Anyway, guys, before I get distracted again, this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.